Hello YouTube. I apologize for the noise. There's the expressway. I don't live too far from it, so there's probably a lot of noise back out here, but we're going to do some cutting with Kyley Harris's Broadleaf. I did a bunch this morning. I made you guys some great videos. You could have watched me get stung by bees and do all kinds of neat stuff, but unfortunately I was trying my other camera and it didn't work worth a flip. I shot 2 videos and I got like 10 seconds on the beginning of each one, so I went back to my old faithful Samsung. And also I'm trying these in 1080p, so if you guys think it's worthwhile, you know, it's longer to upload, longer to process, longer to all that, but if you guys think it's worth it, I'll do it. And this is kind of a test video. It's overcast out here right now, but you know, pretty clear and bright. So what we're going to do is, this is a volunteer tree here, and it's a junk tree. It's nothing we want, too close to the fence and a lot of other things. So let's take this down, and then we're going to introduce you to the Stump of Doom, and we'll take this over there and we'll do some chopping. And anybody that has any knives or anything that they want to come try, bring them on over, because right over there where the Stump of Doom is, there's no excuses. So let's clear out a little bit here. This worked great this morning, by the way. I cut down some magnolia volunteer trees, some very small things, cut some brush. It worked great. No chips, rolls, still sharp as a razor. I can't tell you about the steel because it is, I don't know what it is. This is something that Kyley's trying out. He didn't want to get into a huge discussion on it. If it works, you know, we'll all know what it is. If it doesn't and Cliff and I can break it, well, then probably not so much. I will tell you this much. I know a little bit, and I know that it's pretty different stuff. And so far I've been impressed. It's a very thick knife. This thing must be 11 mil, 10. Kyley, put in the notes what it actually is, or I'll measure it and do that. I like the heft. I like the handle. Very, you know, typical Kyley stuff. It's comfortable. So let's clean out a little bit here. That was a very easy swing. 2 limbs, very easy. Nothing to it. No problem. Hopefully that's good enough. Okay, I learned something right there that's been true on a lot of knives. My Forester XXXL, for instance, I started chopping here and it was kind of bouncing. I went back here about halfway back on the blade and hit that sweet spot, and it went nearly halfway through this thing all at once. It's I guess that's about 2.5 inches across there. So let me put this knife away. And then I'm just going to take you and the tree and everything over to the stump. This is my backyard, and all the chopping videos, we're going to go over here to where they've all been done and you'll see the difference between my old chopping stump and the new one. And there you go. The old the new. So let me get you set up and we will do some chopping. I think that looks pretty good, so let me drag my little tree over here. This is off the large tree we had cut down in the front yard, and the guy brought it back here with a caterpillar. There's no way you'd ever move it, and he told me he thought it weighed around 2,000 pounds. I believe him. Thing is not going to move. Works perfectly. So first I want to get this down into some smaller, more manageable chunks. Two whacks, that's over an inch across. You hear that? That thing just hitting into that is like hitting into a piece of rock maple. It's just, I mean, it is, and in fact, that's what I believe this was. I can't quite remember now. But, God, I mean, you can push as hard as you want on this puppy. It ain't going nowhere. Now, just by comparison, I'm 6'2". And you guys know, even though I'm losing weight, by the way, I want you all to know, I finally got serious on my diet, and I want to thank two people, but one in particular, and that's Mike and Cindy from Soul Survivor 2, and especially Cindy. Cindy inspired me, and I'm going to do a whole video on some things I found out about health, and I feel tremendously better. And you can see I still got a lot of weight to lose, but a whole lot better. Bad hit by me, by the way. That was a good hit. This is the first time I've chopped on this. Probably it's going to be best to chop over the edge. Once you learn to choke up, try that on some of your knives that have a lot of mass out here, and hit back, you know, instead of hitting here, hit farther back. Boy, what a difference it makes with this knife. Just tremendous. You don't have to hit hard. It just whacks it right in half. Alright, B, get out of here. I've been stung once. Actually, I got stung 6 times this morning. That's enough. Effortless. That's the only way I can describe it. It's so nice to have something like this to chop on. All my Sharpies, when you get here for the blade show, you're gonna love this thing. Wow. You know, I know Kyley does a great job cutting, but I believe from watching his video, I've got a little better hit on the sweet spot. I think it's easier for me than it was for him. I mean, we've destroyed that tree in no time. Let's see if we can gather up here's a piece of 2x. Wow, what a difference when nothing moves underneath the wood. I just cut a knot in half, and this wood is really wet, so it's sticking in there a little bit. No edge damage, no rolls, chips. Nice. Alright folks, well I think that will be it for this one. I'm impressed. I like it a lot. Really fat in the back, goes down to a very thin grind. No damage. You hear that? Nothing. No chips, no rolls. Still very sharp. So Kyley, whatever this stuff is, seems to be working good. I'm going to look at it under a microscope, and or at least a magnifying glass inside, and I'll give you guys an in-depth report. So that's it for now. Take it easy, YouTube.